Good afternoon, everyone. Uncle Claude here. It's time for NFL picks for week 8 in the NFL for 2022. As you see, last week's record was not impressive, but we hope to do better. And as you can see, my overall record is still over 500 with a record of 46 and 41. So let's get to it. It's time for NFL picks. Just one moment, ladies and gentlemen. And that should start. All right. Week 8. Had a couple of picks that did not go my way near the end, but it is what it is. Hopefully this should be a bounce back week for me. And I'm going to start it out. Hey, Cheryl Burnett, how you doing this afternoon? Hope the Steelers play better than they did Sunday night. They should have won that game Sunday night against Miami, but we did not get the job done. And this season, I tell you, I don't know what to do with this team, but it is what it is. But we'll start out with the Minnesota Vikings, who are coming off their bye week. And they're at home against the Arizona Cardinals. Cardinals are playing better. They have their top guy, DeAndre Hopkins, back. Kyler Murray has been up and down this season, but you could say that about the entire Arizona offense. Their defense has been up and down, definitely. The Vikings are favored in this game by 6.5. I believe 6.5 is a little too much. It's going to take them about a 1.25, I think, to get into rhythm. When you come off a bye week, that tends to happen, no matter how good the team is. Oh, yeah, that could definitely happen. And the Eagles are playing the best football right now in all of pro football. No question about it. You look at the way Jalen Hurts has played. Man, it's hard to go against him. But the Vikings should be very healthy on all cylinders. Cook has played well. He should be back. Thielen, those receivers. Now, it's going to be a closer game than people think. I think 6.5 is a little too much. Kyler keeps them close. I believe the Vikings win this game today by a score of 27-24. Next up, the Carolina Panthers, who played very well last week. They're going to go up. My computer's acting a little bit funny. Please bear with me. Oh, my gosh. There we go. The Panthers are going to take on the Atlanta Falcons, who got ran up in. I can't stand the Falcons. I just can't. But Mariota was playing good until last week. I have to say that. Now, Atlanta's secondary is absolute trash. I believe P.J. Walker and friends will come back down to earth. But don't be shocked if Chuba Hubbard gets 100 scrimmage yards. He's a pretty good running back. I do believe that DJ Moore will give Atlanta all they can handle at the wide receiver position. But I believe Atlanta has enough pass rush to beat up on the Panthers. The Panthers are just simply not a good enough football team. They are pretty decent on the defensive end. On the offensive end, I don't think they'll keep up. Now, the Falcons are getting 6.5. That's a bit ridiculous. How can you have the Falcons as 6.5-point favorites over anybody after what you saw last week? No way. Do I think the Falcons win? Yeah. 7? Yeah, right. I like the Falcons 24-20 over the Carolina Panthers. Don't be shocked if the Panthers win outright, but I'm not going over that ledge as of yet. Next up, The Dallas Cowboys are at home. They're taking on the Chicago Bears. I know the Bears won against New England. They let me down big time. But listen, the Bears' offensive line is dreadful. And then they're going to face Michael Parsons. That Cowboy defense is salivating. Justin Fields. He gives you flashes, but that's it. Excuse me. No Ezekiel Elliott, no problem. Tony Pollard's the better running back anyway at this stage. The Cowboys are getting 10 points. Gladly take it. Cowboys 31, Bears 17. Just one moment, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be right back. And I'm back, ladies and gentlemen. Please forgive me for that. But I had to run. I had to get some H2O. For my throat. Next up, the Raiders go on to take on the New Orleans Saints. The Saints have really let me down. And even though Jameis Winston is healthy, I believe Andy Dalton will be the guy starting for the New Orleans Saints. The Raiders out and out won last week thanks to Josh Jacobs. I told you that Jacobs would have a big game. Now, the Saints are favored by a point. And I get it because the Saints have been up and down. I think their defense has not played as well as I expected them to play. Is Jacobs going to get his yards? Absolutely. I don't think Derek Carr is a good enough quarterback. Now, I think the Saints are going to make just enough plays in order for them to win. I know the Raiders are getting the point. I like the Saints at home, though. Because Andy Dalton, I know he's not a great quarterback, but they have scored more points under Andy Dalton than under Jameis Winston. And I like the Saints at home, 28-24. I know a lot of people are picking the Raiders, and I get it. And listen, it's tempting. But I'm going with the Saints here, 28-24 over the Las Vegas Raiders. Next up, the Miami Dolphins, coming off a win against the Steelers. Listen, that was a tough game if you're a Steeler fan. But if you're a Dolphin fan, it's a tough game too. Because the coach almost lost the game for you. All you had to do was just kick the field goal. You're up by 9. But they did not. They go for it. Steelers stop them. Steelers have a chance, and listen, you know how bad the Steelers' offense has been. If you're a Steeler fan, I don't need to tell you. But Miami goes into Detroit to take on arguably the worst team defensively in the NFL, and that's the Detroit Lions. The Lions, you know what? Dan Campbell it seems like he was a decent coach. It looked like they were going to turn the corner. Now they'll score their share, but their defense is just dreadful. Tua's healthy. The track team is healthy, meaning Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. I like Miami here. Now, Miami is getting only 3. Take Miami in the points. Detroit plays pretty decent at home, and they do tend to keep it close, but I think Miami will pull it out 31-24. The Lions aren't going to get blown out, but I don't believe they're going to win either. And now here's one of the games which, if you had told me the Jets would be favored over the Patriots, I'd look at you like you were crazy. And you know what? Judging by the line, they're still not favored. And that's crazy. The Patriots are actually a point favorite over the Jets. And the Jets are at home. Have you not looked at the Patriots the last 3 weeks? And they're going to start Matt Jones, who's been dreadful. I understand the Jets lost Breece Hall for the season. I get it. Did they lose Garrett Wilson? No. Michael Carter still toting the rock for them. Jets defense, Sauce Gardner still playing. Is there anybody on the Patriots that scares you? Absolutely not. I love the Jets here. And you're getting a point? Really? New York Jets 27, Patriots 24. And I'm actually being too nice to them. It could be even uglier than that. But this game will show you if the Jets are for real or not. Just let the Patriots beat them, then the Jets are not ready. And listen, they're both going to be looking up at Buffalo. I get it anyway, but I like the Jets here in the changing of the guard, so to speak. Now, here's the game that me and Miss Burnett are most intrigued about, of course, and that is the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. Do you know that the Steelers have not beaten the Eagles in Philadelphia since 1965? Now, they're in 2 separate conferences, so they don't always get together that much. Now, the Steelers have beaten them up in Pittsburgh, but when the Steelers travel to Philly, they don't do well. Our offense has been putrid at best. Our defense has actually played pretty solid. I like Jalen Hurts. I like their receiving core. The Eagles, to me, from top to bottom, have played the best football. And right now, they're the best team as shown by their undefeated record. Now, Buffalo, to me, is built better from top to bottom. But I like the Eagle team. Now, the Eagles are an 11-point favorite. I look at those numbers, and I understand it's easy to do that as bad as the Steeler offense has been. But the Steeler defense, with its limited personnel, and I don't believe T.J. Watt will play this week. And I wouldn't rush him back for this. I'd bring him back for a division game. I wouldn't bring him back for this game. You don't want to rush him and ruin the season. Are the Steelers... yeah, she's going to try and torment you, but I think for some crazy reason, and I believe that the Eagles, and I understand why they're 11-point favorites. The Eagles, I believe, will win this game. 11 points better than the Steelers? I don't think so. I wouldn't be shocked because these are the type of games that Tomlin wins. Don't be shocked if the Steelers win this game outright. The Steelers are due. Pickett is starting to find his groove a little bit. I know he threw a ghastly interception in that end zone. I was ready to choke him myself. Then I remembered, hey, he's a rookie. Rookies do that. If it was Trubisky, well, I'd have my foot so far. Well, never mind. Eagles 23, Steelers 20. Eagles win, but not cover that spread. Next up, the Tennessee Titans are taking on the Houston Texans. You know, if you're a guy of a certain age, it just feels so funny not to hear Houston Oilers, but that's really the Tennessee Titans. Now, Houston is going to have a fire sale right after this game. Davis Mills is being exposed just as the weeks go by. Now, we might be only a couple of weeks away from the Titans changing to Malik Willis. Because the Titans' offense hasn't done much either. But Henry's healthy. Their offensive line is getting healthy. Their defense is starting to play better. And let's face it, Houston stinks. They have a decent running back. That's about it. Hey, brother Ken Nola, how's it going, man? And yeah, I picked your Saints this week. I think you're going to come off the side. I know one thing. Andy Dalton can't play any worse. And if he does, at least you can put in famous Jameis. But going back to the game, Tennessee Titans 28, Houston 17. Did I mention Houston stinks? Well, guess what? Houston stinks. Next up. I appreciate that, man. And if they lose this game, I'm never picking them again. I'm just saying. But next up, the New York Football Giants take on the Seattle Seahawks. Seattle has been the biggest, I think the biggest shocking thing throughout the whole year. Who expected Geno Smith to play as well as he has? Now, if you want to say that Russell Wilson's not any good, I get it. And he's played dreadful again today. I didn't think Geno Smith would be the NFL's top-rated passer. Really? Geno Smith? I did say that Saquon Barkley was going to have a big season. I knew that as well as I know my name. Because Saquon Barkley has had to shoulder so much of the load. The offensive line has actually looked pretty decent. And he found an offensive guy who said, you know what, we're going to put the ball in his hands. They've done that, and the Giants are right there in the mix in the NFC East. Now, Seattle's at home. Seattle's getting 1.5 points. Listen, I understand that Seattle is leading that division. Does anyone really think Seattle's going to beat out San Francisco and the Rams for that? I don't think so. The Giants, as long as they keep it close, they have found ways to win. And I'm going to stick with that. I like the Giants at Seattle, 30-27, a late field goal. I see Saquon keeps going. Seattle cannot stop the run. Saquon's going to get $125, 30-27. I'm going with the Giants. And trust me, this is not a Giant thing. I'm not even a Giant fan. Hey, Just Nasty Lion. How you doing today? Next up, the San Francisco 49ers take on the Rams. These are two teams that hate each other. Now, the 49ers got ran up in, but that was the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs, as you see, they still have a lot of weapons. Now, they're going into SoFi to take on the Rams. They have owned the Rams in the regular season. Now, when it mattered, they couldn't get it done last year. This Rams offensive line stinks. They can't run the ball. They can't protect Stafford. Joey Bosa's in time. I'm with the Giants, too. I'm a Steeler fan, but I respect the Giants. Garoppolo will unleash Christian McCaffrey this week. He's going to get more involved in the offense. Right now, San Francisco is just a better team. I am going with the 49ers 28, Rams 24. Now, that might be the kiss of death. I chose them last week, and they got slaughtered. But division game, they hate the Rams as it is. I love them here. Next up, the Washington Commanders are taking on the Colts, who benched Matt Ryan for the season. Sam Ehlinger will be the quarterback. I don't think he's ready. He's going to learn that he's one of those not quite ready for primetime players. You're going to see a lot of Jonathan Taylor, a lot of play action. I think the Washington defense is too strong. Tyler Heineke has played well when he's had a chance. Washington has hung around. I think the best thing that's happened is Carson Wentz got hurt. I love the Washington Commanders here, 24-13 over the Indianapolis Colts. Now the Sunday night game, the Bills Mafia. I like those Buffalo fans. I have a lot of respect for those guys. And they're going to be loud and boisterous going up against the Green Bay Packers and what used to be Aaron Rodgers. I don't know who's playing worse, Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady. I know they both need to pack it up. And if you've seen Tom Brady, man, you can't. I know that he got his divorce, and trust me, he's not happy about it. So Tom Brady's losing on and off the field. But at least Motel 6 will keep the light on for him. And he can hang out with the fellas all he wants. And Aaron Rodgers, man, has there been a more pompous individual than him? I'm enjoying watching Aaron Rodgers get his butt handed to him. And he's going to get his butt handed to him again. The Bills are favored by 8.5. Take the points. Buffalo 27, Packers 17. And then the Monday night game. It's a good old-fashioned AFC North or AFC Central Division battle, if you remember that far. Joe Burrow is starting to click. Now, the tough thing is Jamar Chase is going to be out 4 to 6 weeks. The good news for the Bengals is they have two other receivers that are lights out in T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd. Yeah, he should have stayed retired. But I don't think Giselle wants him in the house. She said, you want to hang out with the fellas that much? You don't have any time for me? Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned, ladies and gentlemen. Trust me. And let's face it, every man has made a mistake or two. And boy, when we have to pay the piper, we pay that piper, man. The Bengals are favored by 2.5. I do believe the Browns will keep it close thanks to Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt might be traded by the end of next week, by the trade deadline. I believe Myles Garrett could wreck the game. Oh, Tom Brady's wife is right. And she makes more money than him, a.k.a. she never needed him. But she truly loved the man. And what does he do? Well, he wants to run around Donald Trump and Robert Kraft. But that's another story. As I said, the Bengals are favored by 2.5. Take it. Browns at home, doesn't matter. I like the Bengals here. 24-21 over the Cleveland Browns. And those, ladies and gentlemen, are my picks for Week 8 in the NFL 2022. Thanks so much for joining me, Just Nasty Lion, Ken Nola, Miss Cheryl Burnett, and everybody else in YouTube land. Please like, share, and subscribe. Uncle Claude signing out. Have a safe, if you celebrate the Easter holiday, have a safe and happy Easter. I said Easter. Good Lord, I know I'm getting old. Safe and happy Halloween. Yeah, I'm getting old, folks. That is my Cash App if you choose to. Donations are appreciated, not necessary. Please be sure to hit the like button, share, and subscribe. Uncle Claude signing out. Stay safe, everyone. Take care. And God bless. And once again, happy Halloween.